Ladies and gentlemen, stop blaming others. No one's coming to save you. God said you reap what you sow. So what are you planting? Pain, excuses, or greatness? Steve Jobs said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Own your grind, own your story. You can't be powerful and pitiful at the same time. Get up, stop pointing fingers. Look in the mirror. That's your competition. It's on now. Personal responsibility is non-negotiable. It's the cornerstone of every breakthrough, every achievement, every step forward in life. The moment you decide to stop blaming your parents, your boss, your background, your environment, that's the moment your life starts to change. Until then, you're just existing in a loop, living beneath your potential, reacting instead of creating. You keep waiting for someone else to fix it, but nobody's coming. You think someone owes you something. No, you owe you. That means waking up with discipline, showing up when it's hard, grinding even when nobody's clapping. That's responsibility. It's not glamorous, it's not fun, but it's necessary. Taking ownership is uncomfortable, and that's why most people avoid it. They want to point fingers. If my parents had supported me, if my teachers had believed in me, if my boss gave me a chance, but blaming others gives away your power. Every time you make someone else responsible for where you are in life, you hand them the keys to your destiny. And that's dangerous, because if they control the problem, they control the solution. But when you take control, when Yao say, it's on me, then you control the comeback. And that's where the power lies. Personal responsibility means you stop playing the victim. Victims wait, victims wish, victims complain. But warriors own everything. They fail and they say, that's on me. They succeed and they say, what's next? They don't wait for motivation. They create momentum. They don't rely on inspiration. They build systems. They don't talk about it. They be about it. That mindset is rare because it's demanding. It requires you to show up when no one's watching, to go hard without applause, to believe when there's no proof yet. There's a reason why so many people with less talent are winning. It's because they decided to take control. They didn't need perfect circumstances. They didn't need a cheer squad. They made a decision and got to work. They said, I'm not waiting to feel like it. I'm doing it because I said I would. That's what responsibility looks like. It's action over emotion. It's commitment over comfort, and it's daily, not occasional. Anybody can be consistent for a week, but can you do it when life punches you in the mouth, when nobody returns your calls, when your account's in the red, when your dreams feel miles away? That's when personal responsibility kicks in. That's when the real work begins. Some of you are living in cycles you inherited: poverty, pain, patterns of failure, and it's real. I'm not downplaying that, but what's also real is your ability to break the cycle. That's on nobody else. And until you accept that, nothing will change. You can go to every seminar, read every book, follow every influencer, but if you don't take responsibility, it's just entertainment. At some point, you have to stop seeking external solutions for internal problems. Start confronting yourself, your habits, your mindset, your choices. People will tell you it's not your fault. And maybe it's not. Maybe you didn't create the mess you're in, but it's still your responsibility to clean it up, because nobody's living your life but you, and nobody can grow for you. Nobody can suffer for you. Nobody can hustle for you, and nobody's going to care more than you. You might think you need support, and sure, it helps, but support is a bonus, not a requirement. You can build something from nothing if you own it fully. No excuses, no justifications, just relentless accountability. You don't get to complain about results you didn't work for. You don't get to criticize outcomes when you didn't show up in the process. If you didn't invest the time, the sweat, the effort, then don't expect the reward. Responsibility says, I will pay now so I can live later. It says, I will suffer now so I can shine later. It's delayed gratification. It's sacrifice. It's choosing purpose over pleasure. It's waking up early when you want to sleep in. It's pushing through when the world says quit. It's saying, I must, when everybody else says, I might. That mindset will make people uncomfortable, because the world teaches you to fit in, not to take charge. It tells you to stay in your lane, to play it safe, to wait your turn. But personal responsibility, it shatters all that. It says, I'm building my own lane. It says, I'm not waiting, I'm working. It's not flashy, it's not trending, but it's real. It builds empires. It turns dreams into discipline. It transforms potential into results. You want success? Then start accepting responsibility for every part of your life, even the parts you didn't cause, especially the parts that hurt, because that's where the growth is. That's where the power is. You're not weak for owning your failures. You're strong. You're not broken for acknowledging your mistakes. You're bold. That kind of honesty is rare. That kind of ownership is rare. but it's also the foundation of freedom. You've got to stop looking at your circumstances like a cage and start treating them like a classroom. Everything that's happened to you can teach you something if you take responsibility. You've been through pain, use it. You've made mistakes, learn from them. You've been underestimated, prove them wrong. But whatever you do, don't wait, don't wish, don't blame. That's the trap. That's the easy route. And easy never built anything worth having. You've got to show up for you. Not because someone's watching, not because someone's keeping score, but because you made a decision to level up. That's what separates leaders from followers, champions from complainers, winners from victims. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's responsibility, it's ownership. It's doing the hard thing because it's the right thing. Most people don't want this message. They want comfort. They want affirmation. They want to be told they're doing fine. But you're not here for average. You're not here to settle. You're here to rise. And rising means responsibility. It means carrying the weight. It means walking through the fire and saying, let's go. Because if you don't carry it, someone else will drop it. And if you don't take the shot, someone else will score. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not next year. Right now, it's on you. Always has been, always will be. Excuses kill potential. They sound good, they feel good, and they get you off the hook for a moment. But in the long run, they're costing you everything. Every time you say, I can't, it's too hard. I'm too tired. I don't have enough time. What you're really saying is, I'm not willing to pay the price. And that decision, that mindset becomes a habit. Excuses become your language. They become your defense mechanism. But they also become the reason you never grow, the reason you never start, the reason you never finish. You're building walls around your potential and calling them circumstances. You say you want success. You say you want greatness. But every excuse is a detour away from that path. Potential is nothing without execution. And execution doesn't care about how you feel. It doesn't wait for the perfect mood, the perfect moment, the perfect setup. It just demands action. Every time you let an excuse take over, you delay that action. And every delay steals time you'll never get back. That's the real cost. Not just missed opportunities, but missed evolution. Excuses don't just hold you back. They keep you stuck as the same person year after year. You may get older, but you're not getting better. That's the trap. Excuses are seductive. They give you something to hide behind. I grew up in a broken home. I don't have connections. I've never been lucky. And all of that may be true. But success doesn't care about your origin story. It cares about your decisions. What are you going to do with what you have? Because there's always someone with less doing more. There's always someone fighting harder, showing up earlier, staying up later. And it's not because they had better luck. It's because they refused to make excuses. They decided that their dream was more important than their comfort. They stopped negotiating with weakness and made a commitment to show up, regardless of conditions. You can justify anything to yourself. You can talk yourself into average. You can talk yourself out of progress. That's what excuses do. They protect your ego and poison your growth. They let you off the hook today, but they cost you the life you could have had tomorrow. Every excuse is an exit sign off the highway of discipline. It's a distraction, a shortcut, a mental surrender. And the problem is, the more you use them, the better you get at using them. You become a master of avoiding the work, a professional at dodging responsibility. And eventually, you forget what it even feels like to go all in. People love to say, I would have made it if it weren't for this or that. But that's not how it works. Life doesn't stop for your excuses. It keeps moving. While you're waiting for better conditions, someone else is adapting to the current ones. While you're blaming lack of time, someone else is managing theirs better. While you're stuck in traffic, someone else woke up earlier. It's not about fairness. It's about focus. It's about taking what you've got and maximizing it, not mourning what you don't have, not repeating the same story to avoid the same challenge. You weren't born to be ordinary. You weren't born to settle. But excuses will convince you that you are. They'll shrink your goals to fit your doubts. They'll dilute your fire until you forget it was ever there. And they'll do it subtly. You'll think you're being realistic when really you're just afraid. You'll think you're being smart when really you're avoiding discomfort. Because chasing greatness isn't convenient. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. And every excuse you make is just another way to choose easy over necessary. Excuses disguise themselves as logic. They dress up like rational thinking. It's not the right time. Maybe next year. I'll start when things settle down. But here's the truth. Things don't settle down. Life doesn't hand out quiet windows of opportunity. You've got to carve them out yourself. And if you're waiting for a sign, that's your excuse talking. The sign is the discomfort you feel right now, the frustration, the restlessness. That's your signal. That's your push. But excuses numb that push. They quiet that voice inside you that knows you're capable of more. Potential is powerful, but only when it's activated. And you can't activate it if you're always explaining why you haven't started yet, why you're not ready, why now isn't the time. Excuses are the language of fear. And fear isn't always loud. It's often disguised as wisdom. But true wisdom moves you forward. It challenges you to evolve. Excuses keep you stagnant. They tell you stories that feel good but do harm. They let you live with the illusion of effort without the reality of change. You've got to kill the excuses before they kill your drive. You've got to stop giving your limitations a microphone. Every time you say, "I'm not built for this," you're reinforcing weakness. Every time you say, "I don't have what it takes," you're handing over your strength. And if you do it long enough, you'll start to believe it. That's the dangerous part. Because belief is everything. If you believe in excuses more than your power, you'll always settle for less. Discipline doesn't care about your excuses. Neither does growth. They require sacrifice. They require that you do the work even when no one's watching, even when you're tired, even when you've failed 100 times. That's the path. No shortcuts, no detours, and no room for blame. It's not about what others did or didn't do. It's about what you choose to do right now. Do you rise or do you rationalize? Do you build or do you blame? The answer to that question determines everything. Your potential doesn't need permission, but your excuses are always asking for it. They want you to wait, to doubt, to stall. But you can't afford to, because time isn't waiting on you. Your future isn't waiting on you. And if you keep telling yourself you'll do it, one day you'll wake up and realize one day became never. That's the cost of excuses. They don't just steal your time. They steal your life, quietly, slowly, consistently, until you wake up one day wondering where the years went. Excuses can't build anything. They can't build businesses, bodies, relationships, dreams. Only action can, only effort can, and effort doesn't show up when it's convenient. It shows up when you silence the noise, when you ignore the comfort, when you remind yourself that pain is temporary but regret is forever. Excuses are easy, regret is permanent. You get to choose every day, every decision. You choose whether to listen to fear or to fight through it, whether to stand up or sit back, whether to move or make excuses. Self-accountability fuels growth. Nothing changes until you decide to take full ownership of your actions, your mindset, your effort, and your outcomes. You can't grow blaming other people. You can't grow waiting for someone to push you. You grow when you look yourself in the mirror and say, if I want different, I've got to do different. That shift is where transformation starts. It's not about what happened to you. It's about how you respond to it. That response is your responsibility. When you own it, you can change it. When you dodge it, you stay stuck. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. Self-accountability is about holding yourself to a higher standard, especially when nobody's looking. It's easy to perform when there's pressure. It's easy to work when someone's watching. But growth doesn't happen under the spotlight. Growth happens when nobody claps, nobody sees, and nobody cares except you. That's where your real character is exposed. Are you still putting in the reps? Are you still showing up when you don't feel like it? Are you still keeping promises you made to yourself even when life throws distractions at you? That's self-accountability. It's not glamorous. It's not loud, but it's powerful. You've got goals, big ones, but goals without accountability are just dreams. They sound good. They look good written on a board. But without consistent, honest follow-through, they mean nothing. Self-accountability is what turns your ambition into execution. It's what forces you to evaluate, adjust, and keep pushing even when progress is slow. You can't grow if you lie to yourself about how hard you're working. You can't grow if you avoid the truth about your habits. Real accountability means checking your own energy, your own focus, your own output, not blaming your environment or waiting for motivation. Nobody is going to care about your future like you. Nobody is going to put in the work for you. If you want to grow, you've got to track your own actions and measure them against your potential. Are you really giving your best? Or are you doing just enough to look busy? Are you living by your values? Or are you compromising because it's easier? That kind of internal honesty is tough. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary, because without it, you'll keep repeating the same cycles and calling it effort. You'll confuse motion with progress, and you'll wonder why nothing ever changes. Self-accountability forces you to confront the gap between who you are and who you could be. And closing that gap takes more than talent. It takes consistency. It takes discipline. It takes courage to call yourself out. not in a negative, shame-filled way, but in a real, constructive way. Growth isn't about beating yourself up. It's about being honest enough to say, I'm not there yet, but I'm not quitting. That mindset separates winners from wishers, because wishers talk about what they want and winners take action, measure results, and hold themselves to it. You can't delegate your progress. You can't outsource your discipline. You've got to be the one checking yourself, refining your focus, tightening your routines. That's how you grow, not by chasing external validation, but by doing the inner work, holding yourself to the goals you said you cared about, staying committed even when it's inconvenient, doing the hard things when the easy path is right there in front of you. That's self-accountability. That's how you build mental toughness. That's how you build resilience. People think growth is about inspiration. They think it's about having a big enough why, but a powerful why means nothing if you don't have the how. And the how is discipline, structure, ownership. That's the work nobody sees. That's the effort nobody applauds. But it's what makes all the difference, because when you take full responsibility for your growth, you stop waiting. You stop expecting someone else to give you permission. You get up, you show up, and you level up because it's your standard, not theirs. Self-accountability isn't just about goals and habits. It's about emotional maturity. It's about managing your reactions, owning your attitude, and controlling your energy. It's saying, I didn't like how I responded to that, and fixing it. It's catching yourself in excuses and correcting course. It's being your own coach, your own critic, your own leader. And it's a daily practice, one choice at a time, one action at a time. You don't wake up with self-accountability. You build it brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to say, I'm stuck because of them. But that mindset keeps you powerless. Self-accountability gives you the power back. It puts the outcome in your hands. That doesn't mean everything is your fault, but everything is your responsibility, your healing, your learning, your momentum. The moment you accept that is the moment you become dangerous, not to others, but to every excuse, every limitation, every old story that kept you small. You can't grow in a comfort zone. And self-accountability pulls you out of it. It tells you the truth when your ego wants to be protected. It demands more when you feel like you've done enough. It challenges you to level up when staying the same feels safe. That friction is where you develop strength. That resistance is where you find capacity, because you're not just chasing results, you're becoming someone capable of sustaining them. And that transformation doesn't happen by accident. It happens through choice, through ownership, through daily alignment with your vision. Growth isn't a one-time event. It's not a switch you flip. It's a commitment to constant evolution. And that evolution is built on reflection, accountability, and action. If you're not evaluating, you're not improving. If you're not checking your progress, you're just guessing. You can't fake your way to excellence. You've got to monitor your habits, your time, your focus. And if it's not aligned with your goals, you've got to change it. That's on you. Always, you can have coaches, mentors, teammates, but none of them replace your own accountability. At the end of the day, when it's quiet, when it's just you and your goals, the question is simple. Did you do the work? Did you give your best? Did you stay focused? Or did you make excuses drift and let yourself off the hook again? Those answers determine whether you grow or stay the same. And only you can answer them honestly. Self-accountability sharpens your vision. It clears the fog. It strips away distractions. Because when you're truly holding yourself to a higher level, you stop wasting time. You stop doing things that don't serve you. You stop tolerating behavior, habits, and environments that slow you down. You move with intention. You act with purpose. And every step forward, no matter how small, compounds into something greater, something earned, something built, something that lasts. Pain is a signal, not a sentence. It's not there to break you. It's there to teach you, to grow you, to wake you up. The problem is most people run from pain. They numb it, hide from it, avoid it at all costs. But growth lives in pain. Change is born in discomfort. There is no transformation in the comfort zone. You don't become stronger by doing what's easy. You become stronger by leaning into the struggle and deciding that what's on the other side is worth more than what you feel right now. Pain is proof that you're alive, that you're stretching, that something in you is being challenged. It's the fire that forges character, not the breeze that cools it. Most people want results, but they don't want the resistance. They want the outcome, but not the process. But pain is the toll you pay for purpose. You don't get to bypass it. You don't get to skip the line and have success without sacrifice. There's always a price, and the ones who rise to the top are the ones who stop resenting the pain and start respecting it. Pain is the feedback mechanism of progress. It tells you what matters. It tells you where the growth is hiding. When you feel pain, physical or emotional, it's your body or your spirit saying, this is the edge. This is where the new you is being built. When you avoid pain, you delay your own breakthrough. Because pain is the process. Pain is the resistance that tears down the old so the new can rise. That's why the gym hurts. That's why healing hurts. That's why change hurts. You're breaking habits, rewiring beliefs, and destroying limitations that kept you safe but small. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but comfort never built champions. Comfort never created leaders. Every version of you that grew, that evolved, that succeeded came through something painful, not in spite of it, through it. There's a reason every success story has a chapter of struggle, because pain is the equalizer. It humbles you. It reminds you that greatness isn't handed out. It's earned. It keeps your ego in check. It keeps you hungry. It creates empathy, resilience, and grit. You can't fake those things. You can't skip the fire and come out forged. You've got to go through it. You've got to decide that no matter how hard it gets, you're not quitting. That kind of mindset isn't built in the good times. It's built in the pain, and that's why you need it. Pain sharpens your focus. It makes things real. It strips away the fluff and forces you to look at what matters. When you're in pain, you're no longer distracted by the irrelevant. You stop wasting energy on people's opinions. You stop caring about things that don't serve your vision. Pain gives you clarity. It reminds you what's at stake. It creates urgency. You don't mess around when you're hurting. You move with purpose. You operate with intensity. That's the gift buried inside the hurt. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in life come after your hardest moments. The business grows after the struggle. The healing begins after the heartbreak. The clarity comes after the confusion, but only if you stay in it long enough to learn from it. Most people bail too soon. They feel the pain and think something's wrong. But pain doesn't mean stop. Pain means push. Pain means listen. Pain means grow. The breakthrough you want is on the other side of what you're avoiding. And every time you choose to face it instead of flee, you get stronger. You were not built to be soft. You were built to endure. You were built to overcome. That doesn't mean you won't cry, won't doubt, won't question everything sometimes, but it does mean you won't break. You're tougher than you think, but you won't find that strength if you never stretch your limits. You won't discover your fight if you never get hit. You don't know what's in you until the pain pulls it out. That's when the real you shows up, the disciplined you, the focused you, the powerful you. And it doesn't come to the surface when things are easy. It shows up when you're tested. Most people waste their pain. They go through it, but they don't grow through it. They sit in it, complain about it, replay it, but they never mine it for the wisdom. They never ask, what is this pain teaching me? Or how can this make me better? Pain without purpose is suffering. Pain with purpose is transformation, and purpose doesn't always come with answers. Sometimes it just comes with a decision to not let the pain be in vain, to use it, to let it fuel you, to turn it into discipline, drive, and determination. Nobody wants pain, but everybody needs it. It's the ultimate accountability partner. It tells you when you're out of alignment. It tells you when something needs to change. It tells you when you're too comfortable, too passive, too distracted. And it's not your enemy. Pain is honest. It doesn't lie to you like comfort does. Comfort whispers, you're fine, while your goals rot away. Pain shouts something has to change and gives you a chance to rebuild. It forces you to dig deeper, focus harder, move smarter. That's why the ones who embrace pain are the ones who evolve fastest. You want to grow. Learn to lean into the discomfort. Not just survive it, but use it. Let it break the old version of you that couldn't handle pressure. Let it expose the gaps in your mindset, your routines, your relationships, and then fix them. That's how you elevate, not by hiding from adversity, but by getting so familiar with it that it no longer scares you. That's how confidence is built. You stop fearing pain because you faced it enough to know it won't kill you. It will mold you every time life hits you. You have a choice, fold or fight, retreat or rise. Pain is the test. It's the question life asks you. How bad do you want it? And your response isn't in your words, it's in your actions. Do you keep showing up when it hurts? Do you keep going when nobody's watching? That's when pain becomes power. When you take the hit and still move forward. When you use the tears, the setbacks, the loss as fuel. You don't grow by avoiding hard. You grow by facing it head on and proving to yourself that you're capable of more. Pain doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're being built. It means something inside you is shifting. That resistance, that tension, it's part of the process. It means you're getting closer to your potential. And no, it won't feel good, but it will be worth it. The lessons you learn in pain are the ones you never forget. The strength you gain from pain is the kind that doesn't fade. You want next level results. Then you've got to become a next level version of yourself. And that version is born through struggle, through sacrifice, through embracing what most people avoid. That's the separation. That's what sets apart those who want it from those who do what it takes to get it. The real ones don't run from pain. They run through it, and they come out better, sharper, stronger every time.